If you've seen some of my videos or played with me, you might have seen my cathedral. And you might also know how long it has taken me to finish it. But I would say it's actually not finished at all. So, first of all, the exterior, yeah, it might be considered finished, but I have some ideas on how to improve it. You see, I had the idea to play with the dimensions and the perspective of this cathedral, so that if you would see it from here, like it would feel even more imposing because it actually starts very large and then like you goes inside one block and then inside another block and another one and so on. So it creates this forced perspective that makes it feel taller than it actually is. The only problem is I don't exactly like how stubby these two towers are, so I have been thinking of making them taller. And I have a schematic that shows how they would be. So a bit taller, and I think there's still this forced perspective here, but the towers are just going to be a bit taller, which in my opinion looks a bit better, especially from up far. That's one thing left sort of unfinished. And the other glaring issue, and here you can already see some resources that were an absolute grind to get, because the other issue is that the interiors are, well, absolutely trash, let's say. Put it simply, there's nothing. It's built from the outside in, as most builds in Minecraft. So basically the walls inside make no sense. There's even like this ugly bread mushroom thingies, which I use the outside texture of course. You can see it somewhere, I suppose. You can see it there, yeah, right. You can see it's trying to be a middle ground between stripped oak and birch, or birch planks or stripped birch. But the inside, of course, is absolutely ugly. It's, yeah, the texture, this red texture. Alright, so the point is we have to change these two issues, especially the interiors, and I've been working in a creative copy of the world for a very long time to come up with a design for the interiors. And today I hope I'm going to change these issues. So now it's even starting to be night, so I'm going to sleep and start working on this. As you can see, that tower on the left is taller, and I think it looks a bit better. From down here, I'm not completely sold. We are losing a bit of that forced perspective, but once we get a bit further out, I think it gains a lot, looking more majestic, more imposing. Yeah, I like that. One thing I noticed, that now that I'm looking at it from out here, one smaller tower and one taller could actually be a nice idea. I could leave it like that. What do you think? Just adding a bit of asymmetry could be interesting. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, now I want to start tackling the interiors. As you can see, there's still, well, nothing. But it's prompted. These holes have a purpose, for example. It's part of the floor. So I'm just gonna do that YouTuber thing where I close the door and some of it will materialize with just a bit of magic. Not everything, but at least the floor, the ground floor. The floor of the ground floor. Abracadabra. Ta-da! I have installed the floor. I went for a very rich, very decorative design. We have these two main, whatchamacallit, naves, I think, where people walk on, which have very intricate designs with a selection of blocks that people wouldn't normally use, I suppose. Then there's the central part that is a bit illuminated from the sea lantern. In theory, it's supposed to align with a hole in the ceiling, but it's so far away and dark that you can barely see it, or probably not at all. Then there are these two side wings, or part of the transept, which open up on these side entrances in the city. So the floor is in. I've also put the start of the next phase, let's say. These are columns. We have a lot of columns, as you might expect from a church, honestly. Then there are these bits where would probably be benches or stuff for people to come and sit or kneel on to pray or whatever they do in churches, in cathedrals. And yeah, some of these blocks, as you might see, this is no cheap trick. These are more than 300 diamond ore blocks. This took me forever to actually go and gather. I had only around 2 stacks in my treasure box when I started to collect resources for this project. So I had to gather far more than 200 additional ones, I believe. Yeah, it was almost 400 in total. And to do that, I built a tunnel bore, which didn't work as well as I thought. Those things I thought are supposed to give you free diamonds like crazy, but it took me still a while to get them. But maybe it's easier if I show you. So we have to come out here where I have some of my industrial things, so some farms. This is a work in progress, but it has like crimson and warpwood farm. That's oak and pale oak, no, dark oak and pale oak farm. And I've started to expand since some time in this direction, but here is still, out here it's still ugly. Like from on that side, it's nice. But if we fly down here, I have a little hole in the ground. Just like when I used to come down here to mine out. Like this place is old, as you can see. Like there's still. This was the level when where diamonds were before, I believe, 1.18. So we're at 9. I was mining diamond here with the beacon, and actually I reset some chunks. It was actually much more dug out than this. But then I wanted to reset some chunks to explore again with the new generation. But now, of course, we have to go deeper to get diamonds, consistently at least. So I have another hole that goes down to the bottom of the world. Oops, almost died. And here I dug out this space that you see, like up to like here originally, so like a few weeks ago. And I built one module of a tunnel bore. Then I did like some tests. I decided to expand it, went further, and here, like I think it starts from here. You see how it leaves this space a bit destroyed. But I cleaned up the floor actually to just walk around more easily. Here I decided to expand again, and then I went further and further. Here I tried to double it because I wasn't getting anything, or very little diamond ore blocks. I tried to expand it to 10 modules, but it kept blowing up for some reason. I think the server couldn't handle it somehow. I don't have the strongest hardware, I would say. So I shrunk it down to 7, and from here on out I went ahead with 7. You can hear, like see it in the end. Like all of this I had to go through. Well, to be honest, this was a lava lake, so there was not much to be blown up. I went further ahead, and here you see how it leaves the terrain. But basically what it is, if you don't know, it's basically just a flying machine, I guess, like TNT duper that moves with the touch of a button or of a note block. You just touch here once, wait for like the TNT get tubed, and then flown up in front, and it blows up a portion of this. Like I think it's probably very dark. You can't see anything now without the torches. That's the issue now. Also, like it gets blown up, and then there's bad guys spawning. I should have a mob switch. It's a whole ordeal that I didn't want to get into. But the main thing is that when it blows up, then you should be able to uncover diamonds as well as other things. You see like how much stuff I got just from one explosion, and that's what is not exploded automatically by the machine. But yeah, see, then I go through with some torches, try to find diamonds. Actually, it works very well for redstone. I got a lot of redstone, but somehow for not so much for diamonds. So I had to go through all this space just to get what, like 3-4 stacks of diamonds, something like that. So not that great. But well, it worked, and finally I had enough, and I did the floor. Next thing on the agenda is, well, the rest of the interior. I'm not sure how I will break it up. It's big. It's a lot of work. But I'll see you. Hello. This might be very uncomfortable. Let's switch back to a presentable posture. So I have done the first layer, first floor, most of it at least. Of course, still a lot to do, but you can start to feel how it should present itself when it's all done. Or at least the general feeling I'm trying to go for. So we have a bunch of columns, both in the main nave, the main part of the building, as well as in these side transepts. And I filled in the walls so that they are not so gross as before. Here you still see the back side. There is still some space in between the two walls in some areas, like here and here, yeah. But if there is not, I've tried to clean up the walls anyway from the inside. I added these frames to the entrance doors to make it a bit nicer. There's pillars, etc. Also on this side, I started filling in the wall, the back wall, let's say. There's still a lot to do, of course, but before I proceed with the upper floors, I wanted to fill in these alcoves that I left empty. I think it's gonna be interesting. You can see from my inventory what a mess of blocks it's gonna be. That's not even everything I need, probably, but yeah, inventory management in Minecraft. Am I right? But let's go ahead and fill in these alcoves together. I love to work with glazed terracotta. And I know that a lot of people probably don't, mainly because it's a pain to place, but actually there is a trick to it. I hate to place it on a stone surface, on a wall face, because then you have to figure out where to stand, go in from behind maybe and stuff. But from above, for example, if you're placing it on the floor, you can actually place it fairly easily, in my opinion. So how to do it? I'm facing this way, I'm placing this black glazed terracotta, for example, and then you just have to visualize one of the corners based on their patterns. So I'm gonna focus on this corner with the black or dark gray circle, and from my schematic, in this case, I know that the design I'm focusing on has to be basically on the opposite corner. Then I'm just gonna remember that when I place it, this design is gonna be in my bottom right corner. I want to have it here. I know that if I face this way, my design is gonna be where I want it, here down at the bottom right corner. Same thing here, so I'm gonna face the opposite way, so I focus on the bottom right corner here, where it should be, or should end up, and yeah, it's gonna place correctly. And on the next layer, we visualize the bottom right corner and ends up where it should end up. Fairly easy in my opinion. If you apply this trick, it's not too crazy hard to place. One more example. With this other block, I'm gonna focus on this top right corner since it has a design I can more easily identify. Now I want my design to be in the top right corner, so I'm gonna face this way. Same thing here. Next layer. Rather than placing glazed terracotta, what really kills me is inventory management. Again, top right corner, and here is gonna be like this. So with this trick, I think it is not too hard to work with this beautiful block. And it can unlock so many building opportunities and rich designs. Here, for example, I already built the one on the other side with the same design. It's meant to represent some kind of religious symbology or fresco that you find in many churches, something like that. Of course, we are very limited with the things we can do in Minecraft on this scale. You have to use a bit your imagination. But at least from a distance, I think it looks pretty nice. And yeah, I hope this mini tutorial helps at least a few people to appreciate glazed terracotta more. So next I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then, well, everything else, I suppose. In a realm where imagination knows no bounds, one builder dares to dream. These four prepare to embark on an epic journey into the city of Grenoble, where a stunning cathedral rises in its granitic glory, now finally with full interiors. I have to place one last block. Everything else is done. You're actually getting a sneak peek now. Let me get up there. Here's the last one. We don't even need the schematic anymore. This is the last block of the entire interiors, and with that, of the entire cathedral, I should say. Get this scaffolding out of here. Now, the inventory is a mess, of course, and that's not even half of the mess. Look at this. Look at how many blocks I need. It's insane. Like here, there's resin. You wouldn't imagine. There's a conduit here. There's candles. There's all sorts of random blocks. Imagine just sticking them all in the inventory. And the walls. Look at how much variation here is in the walls. Look, and even in the glass, I used different kinds of glass, like 4 different blocks. But it looks epic. It looks epic now. The entrance is here. I don't even know why everything is slowing down. I probably doesn't even handle this epicness anymore. My computer can't handle it. Look at it. Look at how I'm so happy with this. And it is done, it's finished, it's majestic. Other than possibly some chairs, some, I don't know, banks, if you would call it, like some places for people to sit and or kneel and pray to whatever gods are worshipped in here. Excuse me for rambling like a madman, and let me show you around instead. There's columns, there's arches, there's more arches, there's these chandeliers, there's this iconography, like very elaborate murals or some kind of paintings, like things like that. There's the entrance down there. There's the entrance on the sides. There's this cupola, and which is really dark, but that's also on purpose, or so I thought. Probably YouTube compression, it's gonna be completely dark. But it's meant to fade off in the darkness. There's this upper balcony that is actually reachable. We can go here in this direction. There's a hidden entrance in this corner, a hidden passage going up, and we can reach the second floor or first floor balcony, let's say, at the level of the chandeliers. Yeah, you can look down. There's these smaller chandeliers. You can walk all around, or at least on this side. Here we have some objects of worship. I don't even know. Some kind of pots. Some of them with the shirt decorations. Some other with plants. Yeah, some sort of iconography. You can go around here, look down. To go to the other side, you have to do a loop around. But both sides are the same. They're mirrored. We can actually go even higher if we go back here. Of course, it's very rickety stairs, and oh well, here I forgot to extend the stairs further. But maybe we can fly up, or maybe not, if I can manage. Okay, we are up. The tower The other tower is still shorter. I'm not entirely sure yet. Still unsure whether I should make them both tall or keep them like they are now. But there will be stairs bringing you up here, of course, and same on the other side. Here, I almost died. Or I died when I decided to build this thing. We can look down here. I even have here a smaller cupola. But here is basically the top of the central area where the big cupola is underneath. We can jump down and have a final look at the interiors. I hope you like it. I'm in love. But it has taken me such a long time to build, to do the project, first in creative, then to collect the resources to build it. It has taken me months, and I'm sure the editing will take even more months probably. I'm not used to this long format. Even though it's maybe not so much compared to some YouTubers or big builders, I'm a big fan. It's, yeah, for my standards, it's very big. And I'm very proud of it. There's one more secret that I was trying to show you. If we don't go all the way up, there is another small balcony here. On the second floor, you can look down again from even higher. The draw zone is also a nice touch, even though it's nicer from the outside. But we can go even higher here, and we end up basically below the roof. There's this passage here between the internal ceiling and the upper roof, basically. There's a whole network of hidden passages on both sides. We can go here. Yeah, here it's blocked, you have to crawl somehow. Here you can actually look down in the church, in this cathedral, in this central area. Let's close it back down if I manage. It's a bit laggy. Basically, we are within the walls, and there's all these secret passages going all around. We can go back down here. Now we're in these side wings, or the sides of the transect. And then we go back in, we can climb up again in another passage, and here we end up basically behind the space of the altar. And then we end up basically on the mirrored side on the other side. Not completely identical. We can go all around, go back down from the passage in the corner, but let's just fly down. That's it. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had fun. It was a tough one, but I had really a lot of fun, and I hope you liked it. Bye bye.
Oh, what the f... Oh.